Oh, Kevin.
Are you saying Kevin?
I did.
What's up?
Is that your sink right there?
Oh.
The floor we can't help. Oh, it's my favorite thing to do. I should be a professional.
Big monstrosity down the side porch. That was what I was
Really?
doing last night when y'all pulled in.
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Get the hand sanitizer right here, be ready to go.
Okay.
I'm not sick, I'm not contagious, I have allergies, but because I had chemotherapy, it hits me in the lungs, not the nose.
Oh, wow.
So, if I'm coughing my lungs out, I'm not gonna get you sick.
Okay.
He is contagious. It's contagious joy.
Oh, wow, look at that guy.
I do have some rice.
I'll just put my drink there.
That is perfectly fine. You put it here in the fridge if you want.
Okay.
We can perfectly.
Come on in.
You put it in the fridge or whatever. Keep it going.
Where are you guys in from today?
Nashville.
Excellent. My son lives up that way. He's in the Army at Fort Campbell.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Sorry about that. All right, guys, you are going to meet two sloths this morning.
Okay.
This one is the one that is primarily educational. The other one is primarily sit and snuggle with. So this guy is Flash. Flash is a two-fingered sloth. Let me show you the rules of the game here. This is food. This is not food.
Right.
Sloth's vision is horrible. He literally can't see the difference between the two. So this one you put in his mouth, this one you don't. Don't put it in his mouth, don't put it in my mouth. Either one of us might bite you if you stick your finger inside of our mouth. Good morning, Flash.
Oh.
Wake up, baby. Hey, Bubba. Are you hungry?
Oh.
I can show you one thing real quick here. That's the way that a two-fingered sloth moves differently than a three-fingered sloth does. If he wakes up in a second. I do.
Does he
Are you
sleep
hungry?
most of the day? I'm not angry.
So sloths go in cycles. They sleep for a couple of hours, then they're awake for an hour or two, then they sleep a couple hours, and
Yeah.
they're awake, and every time they wake up, they eat. And it's a good way to be, right?
Right?
So the sloth doesn't really sleep for an 8 or 10 hour period over the night. They sleep and wake, sleep and wake.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll wake up in a minute here.
Oh,
His face.
I see his little face.
Hey, dude.
Oh. Look how cool their eyes are.
Their eyes are unusual. They have a structure called rod monochromacy. So he sees motion well, he sees particular shapes, particular objects poorly. So his, the primary thing for him is anything moving toward a sloth is bad news.
Yeah.
So if he sees motion coming his direction, it's get to the end of the branch, get to the end of the branch. At the end of the branch, he's safe.
Yeah, look how unusual. They don't have any little. Look at this, a solid brown.
So his pupils are so tiny they're just pinpricks
I know,
in the
they're
middle of his eyes
bitty.
right now. But rod monochromacy means all rod cells, no cone cells. So he sees like he's wearing night vision goggles all of the time.
Yeah.
If you saw a movie where they're running around with the night vision goggles on and you just see blobs everywhere, that's
Yeah.
what he sees. So he can't see the
Oh,
difference
boy.
between me and either one of you. He just sees motion well. So that's what helps keep him safe. So consequently, his sense of smell and his sense of hearing are wonderful. He doesn't know what I look like, but he knows what I sound like and he knows what I smell like.
Yeah.
And so that's how he rolls.
How old is he?
He is 6 years old.
Okay.
So he is a two-fingered sloth. Taxonomically, they're still called two-toed, three-toed, but the fingered makes more sense because they all have 3 toes on the back feet. Two-toed have 2 on the front, three-toed have 3 on the front.
Okay.
Other differences between them. Sorry. A two-fingered sloth, which this is, has 5 vertebrae in the cervical spine between skull and shoulders. A 3-fingered sloth has 9. A 2-fingered sloth has no tail. A 3-fingered sloth has 3 vertebrae to tail. So the 3 missing from the tail and the 4 missing from the neck are all between the hips and shoulders of the 2-fingered sloth. So they move very differently. If you see a skeleton picture, it makes more sense. So this guy is a 2-fingered sloth. All of our sloths here are 2-fingered Linnaeus sloths. Pretty much every sloth that you see in the continental U.S. is going to be a 2-fingered Linnaeus sloth.
Oh. I know. So you got a bunch of teeth in there?
Massive teeth.
Really?
This is a 2-fingered sloth. So their teeth are huge, their claws are massive, their arms are longer than their whole body, their legs are longer than their arms. They've got 46 ribs, 23 sets of ribs in a 2-fingered
wow.
sloth. So this guy's built like a truck. He's made to take it. The 3-fingered sloth, though, is a far more slightly built animal. So the 3-fingered has 9 vertebrae in their cervical spine. They have 3 vertebrae of a tail. They have far fewer ribs and far fewer vertebrae in the middle of their body. So the 3-fingered will turn its head 270 around like this because it's got that big long neck.
Yeah.
The 2-fingered, if this is hips and this is shoulders, can rotate until his hips and shoulders are facing directly the opposite direction from one another. Also, these guys are in the families of thorns, which the thorns is the sloths, anteaters, and armadillos. Those are mammals with a hinge spine, so they all can close up or ball up to one extent or another.
Mm-hmm.
The sloths can more than the rest of them, except for the 3-fingered armadillo. 3-banded armadillo.
Yeah.
Those ones close all the way up until they're just a total tight ball
Okay.
with nothing showing on the outside. So, sloths are slow. They're famously slow. Everyone knows that sloths are slow.
Yep.
But they're slow in ways that it may not have occurred to you that it would even be possible for a sloth to be slow. So they're slow not only in their movement, they're slow in their digestion, metabolism, metabolic processes, growth. Everything about a sloth is slow. It starts from their diet. So their diet is in the rainforest. It's about 90% leaf material, and leaves are a very little calorie content and very little nutritional value. So the sloth is working on an extraordinarily limited energy budget. So limited, in fact, that a sloth, although it is technically a warm-blooded animal, it cannot maintain its body temperature. So the outside air temperature is what the sloth's core body temperature is. So in the rainforest, daytime highs in upper 80s, nighttime lows in high 60s. His core body temperature can change by 19 degrees Fahrenheit from day to night. So obviously I am a human. If my core body temperature went down by 19 degrees, the person who'd be interested in that information would be the coroner. And it wouldn't just be the way that I roll. Sloth also is so limited in energy. You're welcome to be petting this guy. You can stand right up next to him.
I can pet him?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's totally friendly. You just don't stick your finger inside of his mouth.
Oh wow, it's first soft. I was expecting it to be wiry.
Yeah, it looks like it would be, right?
Yeah,
And,
well, I read that that's how they like build algae and they, right? So they blend in and camouflage into.
Exactly.
Oh, he's so cute.
Yeah, and we never bathe this sloth. He grooms himself like that.
Oh, he's
None
so
of the sloths
soft.
here get bathed unless something happens that, they get particularly dirty. But, yeah, he's friendly. You just don't stick your finger inside of his mouth. That's the whole
I
thing.
never knew they had giant teeth. That's crazy.
Yeah, they do. So, yeah, if you dug up a skeleton of a sloth and you're a scientist, you would almost certainly come up with a top of the food chain notion of what a sloth is, just based on the way that it's put together. You would almost certainly not think of a slow, peaceful animal who hides from hunting animals for all of his life until eventually one gets him. But, so the sloth, also because of the limited energy budget, they can only make milk for their babies for about 3 to 6 weeks.
Smile next to him.
Smile next to him.
When he hangs down here a little
Okay.
lower in a minute, you'll get far better pictures.
I read their, what is it, the gestation period or whatever, they're pregnant for like 11 and a half months.
Depends on the
These guys?
breed.
Yeah.
A 2-fingered sloth is pregnant for about 7 months. A 3-fingered sloth is 11 and a half.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And he's soft? He's so cute. And what's the deal with the bathroom? So I've read they crawl down once a week? Or what is the deal with?
Once in 7 to 10 days.
Okay.
You get him to hang down here, you'll get far better pictures.
Oh. Oh yeah, there's his
Come here,
teeth. Look at his teeth.
Come here. So when he comes all the way down, you can stand approximately this close to him to take the picture. He's not
Oh
the main animal,
my
you just don't stick
gosh.
your finger in his mouth. And if you want to stand on both sides of him, I'll take the picture for you. And he's entirely friendly though.
Yeah, go sit next to him, buddy.
Oh, he's so cute. Look at that. Look at how they hang. It's so wild. Do I need to feed him? Or
Yeah,
no?
go ahead.
Oh.
All of that is his breakfast.
Does he eat all this?
Generally, yeah.
You don't want that?
I'm hungry this morning.
You're not feeling
When
it?
they're getting towards the end of their
Oh, boy.
bathroom cycle, they slow down a whole lot on the eating.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then when he does go to the bathroom, he eliminates 1/3 of his total body mass in 2 or 3 minutes.
You don't want it?
So, slow in the milk production, and you asked about the coming down the tree. So, the sloth eats approximately 10% of its body weight every single day, and yet he goes to the bathroom only once in 7 to 10 days. So, to put that in human perspective, I weigh 180 pounds, so that's me rolling into Outback and saying, bring me 18 of the 16-ounce porterhouse steaks. I'm going to chow them all down right now. Or hitting the golden arches and saying, bring me 80 of the quarter pounders, because that's what I'm going to eat today. And not only am I going to eat that today, I'm going to eat that every day.
Yeah.
They do metabolize the food very thoroughly. There just is very little nutrition in it. So you might suppose if he ate 10% of his body weight every day for 7 to 10 days, he could theoretically eliminate 100% of his body mass. But he does metabolize it very thoroughly. So he is actually going to eliminate 33%, 1/3 of his body mass when he goes to the bathroom. And I have weighed a sloth before and after, and that is accurate
Really?
information, yes. And So if putting that to human perspective again, I weigh 180. So if I started from 180 and I was going to eat and eat and eat and eat and eat and eat some more and then eat, that's going to put me up to about 240 and then boom, all the way back to 180 in 2 or 3 minutes.
That's crazy.
And,
Wow.
so when the sloth is in the top of the tree, he's almost entirely safe from other animals. The snakes cannot get to them because the sloth has no natural scent. He has no scent glands, musk gland, sweat gland, none of it.
I read they don't
So
stink.
there is no smell to a sloth. Snakes hunt by smell and by temperature gradient. Sloth also is the exact temperature of the air, so there is no way for a snake to find a sloth. Cats can't get to them in the top of the tree. The sloth, end of the branch, and the branch will be like boom down when he gets out to the end. But he only weighs 15 pounds. A cat large enough to threaten his life is going to be more like 50. So if the cat is, he's hanging on the bottom, the cat's coming along the top. If the cat presses the issue to the point that the whole mess falls 100 feet to the rainforest floor, the sloth will almost certainly survive that drop, and the cat will almost certainly not. So the sloth will look over the cat and he'll say, ha, ha, and back up the tree he goes. And the cat will not go back up the tree. So,
What is eating a sloth?
eagle. In the
An
top of
eagle.
the tree, the one thing that could get to him is an eagle because the eagle has exceptionally good vision. So even though he's entirely covered in moss and algae, the eagle can still see him sometimes. And the eagle isn't reliant on heat or smell or the branch to hold him up. So, the eagle can get to a sloth. But how a sloth normally loses his life is coming down the tree to go to the bathroom. So that begs the question, why? So scientists sometimes start out with some pretty stupid ideas before they zero in on some better ones. So the first idea on why a sloth comes all the way down to the ground to go to the bathroom is he's just a neat animal. So obviously that makes no sense. He's not the Adrian monk of the rainforest that he's gonna risk his life because he's a neat animal. So then the second idea was that the sloth is fertilizing his own tree via his waste. Again, stupid idea. If he goes to the bathroom from anywhere in the canopy of the rainforest, it's going to land above the root system of the tree, so no net effect, right? So the actual reason why the sloth comes all the way down the tree to go to the bathroom in the same place he always goes is the sloth-moth symbiotic relationship. So in the wild, not here, praise the Lord, in the wild, sloths need moths and moths need sloths. There is a type of sloth moth called a sloth moth that lives nowhere on earth except in the fur and in the waste pile of a sloth.
No way.
Yeah, there's between 100 and 150 moths that live on a sloth all of the time. You just can't get your
Crazy.
head around having just bugs crawling everywhere on you. But that's the way he rolls. So the benefit to the moth is that the sloth is the food source and the living environment of the moth. When the sloth comes all the way down the tree, the moths fly down off of the sloth, lay their eggs all on the waste pile, get back to the sloth as quickly as they can, because he is only going to be down for 2 to 3 minutes and all the way back up. And the moths don't want to miss the ride back to the canopy.
Wow.
So the benefit to the moth, it is symbiotic, meaning beneficial to both sides, where parasitic would be beneficial to one, neutral, harmful, or fatal to the other. So the benefit to the moth is that the sloth is the food source and the living environment of the moths. So the moths specifically are eating the moss and algae that's all in the sloth's fur, and then they fertilize that moss and algae via their waste.
Wow.
The benefit to the sloth, and when the sloth comes down and they lay their eggs, from there it's row, row, row your boat. So this week's eggs are next week's larvae or the following week's moths. So every time that he comes down the tree, there are new moths to fly up onto the sloth and live their whole life on the sloth.
That's
The only
crazy.
2 reasons the moths leave the sloth during their lifetime is to feed on moss and algae that is to drink water that pools up in the leaves in the canopy of the rainforest, and to get into the waste pile to lay their eggs. The benefit, I don't know why he's not eating, he must be gonna go to the bathroom tonight. So
Tonight's the night.
it looks like it. He slows down on his eating before bathroom time.
Wow.
You'll see the next one is going to be voracious. The next one always wants to eat. She already had her breakfast, but she still is going to want to eat anyway.
The baby.
Zoe is a chow hound. She's 16 months old, and she's almost his size. Nowhere near the maturity level. When you see her, his fur is probably like, 3.5, 4 inches long, the longest of it. Hers is gonna be like 1.5 inches. When you look at his claws, he's got full-size adult claws. The claws are gonna be like this big. And if he opens his mouth and you see his teeth are massive.
Pretty big teeth. Yeah, I
And
saw.
the baby sloth's teeth are like this big.
Oh.
And then Dash, our baby sloth, his teeth are like that small.
Oh, do we
But,
see Dash?
I know
Another
Dash
baby
is a different encounter.
Oh.
Well, the baby will be here this summer. So Dash is like 3.5 pounds. He is 9 months old. And our next baby is already bought and paid for. And we expected it would be here in June, but that one didn't pass the ambassador protocol. This is the only one that isn't held. The other ones, before they come here, they have to genuinely enjoy being held to be an ambassador sloth.
Oh, okay.
And so the one that we had didn't pass the ambassador protocol, so we're waiting on another one. So
Oh.
probably somewhere in the June or July timeframe, but we don't ever know when they're gonna come. They come when their mother weans them of her own choosing. So they're held by people every single day from day 12 of their life forward, but they always go straight back to mom.
Yeah.
So they get all the social nutritional benefit of being a mother-raised sloth and all the social benefit of being a people-raised sloth. And in the rainforest, the two-fingered wean somewhere in the 3 to 6 months range, and they stay with their mother that long until their mother chooses to wean them. And we feel like that's the best. And the guy who breeds them for the ambassadors, he is a doctor of veterinary medicine.
How's that happening? A sloth breeder?
This guy's a doctor of veterinary medicine who's interested in sloth conservation. Has been doing it for about 30 years now.
Yeah.
He's like Jim McMahon with the sunglasses indoors, right?
Oh, I
You're not old
know.
enough to remember who Jim McMahon was,
Oh,
are
I
you?
remember because they're the prescription.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, right. So Jim McMahon was
WWF.
say what?
WWF or whatever.
No, Jim McMahon in my era. I'm a lot older than you guys. Quarterback for the
Bears.
'87 Bears,
Yeah.
and he had got stabbed in the eye with a pencil when he was a kid. So his pupils didn't work, so he wore sunglasses all of the time.
Oh, no.
He was a strong man, like our man here is. But yeah. So anyway, the benefit to the sloth is 3 primary things, a couple other that are sort of in the weeds. So one, he benefits from the camouflage because the moths and the beetles are fertilizing all of the moss that's in his fur. So more moths and beetles, more camouflage.
Glasses, actually.
I'm just.
Well, no, I'll be able to see better anyway. I forgot I had them on.
Yeah, it's kind of dim in here anyway because the sloths, bright light is not their best thing.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Yeah. So you guys always lived in Nashville?
No, so I'm originally from Colorado. I just moved to Nashville like maybe 4 months ago.
Okay, what part of Colorado?
From Boulder, from like an hour north of Denver. It's Fort Collins, really. But
Air Force Academy.
yeah, Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, I was thinking that was closer over there.
But yeah,
So
it's not
I
far.
did Karis Bible College distance learning at Colorado Springs
Yeah.
and Manitou Springs actually, but I stayed at Garden of the Gods campground for a couple weeks one time,
Yeah.
and that ugly Jeep that I still have was the same Jeep I had then.
Really?
And so have you driven Rampart Range Road?
No.
It goes out the back of Garden of the Gods campground, goes straight up to 9,500 feet, and then it traces the mountain ridges
How
all the
cool.
way up to Denver.
Oh, cool.
So you drive it like at dusk,
Yeah.
and you watch the sun come down and the lights come up.
Oh,
And,
beautiful.
beautiful, beautiful drive in
Yeah.
Colorado.
Of course, you would know that, and I wouldn't.
Yeah, well, I've lived everywhere.
Have you?
I've lived in Pennsylvania, Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, North, South Carolina, Florida, Alabama.
Damn.
20 years in Virginia while I was in the military. And then I lived in an RV for 1.5 years, so I've been everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm retired from the Navy, so I've been to,
Yeah.
if it touches water, I've been.
Right.
And but yeah, after I retired from the Navy, I'm like, I've seen the whole world, but I've never seen the Western U.S.
Yeah.
So we
How
jumped
long have
in.
you been here?
6 years now. So we jumped in a Newmar bus and just knocked around the country for like, I don't know, 16 months, I guess.
Yeah.
And we were sort of deciding where we would live if we ever grew up, and it was between Colorado and here, and
Yeah.
Colorado is just too cold for me.
I know.
And I can't ski anyway, so,
No.
you know.
I know it does get cold. It's so beautiful though.
I'm a terrible skier.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can sled too.
Right.
Yeah.
First time I ever went skiing, I was in the Italian Alps, and
That's the first
I was-
place you skied?
first place I ever skied.
How amazing is
And I was
that?
with some Navy guys, and we're pretty harsh on each other. And so they decided it would be really funny to tell me that 210s are the world's easiest thing to ski on because they're great big.
Yeah,
So you
210s?
Yeah. And so, you know, they got me strapped up with 210s, and we were on an MWR trip for the Navy. So we thought when we got to the resort that we'd be able to buy all the stuff to go skiing. I've got a leather jacket that only zips up to here, no hat, no gloves, no goggles. And
Prime skiing
and-
gear.
yeah, right. And 210s, and never been on skis in my life. And I'll try to make it short, but it's funny. So my friends thought it would be really hilarious, and so they said that and this actually wasn't that bad of an idea, but ride all the way to the top and just take the easy slope down instead of going to the bunny slope. So you crash once, ride up, and spend
Yeah.
all day just on the bunny slope. So they said we would go all the way to the top and just find the easy way and go down. And of course, none of the signs were in English, and they don't love Americans there, especially
No.
not brassy, young, think we know everything Navy guys. And so nobody wanted to tell us which way was the easy course. So, you know, and this was my fault strictly. I'm like, well, these people all came here to ski, so they probably are good skiers, and the majority of the people are going that way. So I'm thinking the easy way must be the
Right.
other way. So we went the other way, and we, you know, I'm just like crashing and burning the whole time, and then we got to the 2 black diamond sign, and then it's on.
Yeah.
And so my friends are like, okay, so you know, we need to tell you the thing that you're on speed skis, and you need speed skis to go down a double black diamond you've never skied in your life. So we're gonna swap up skis. They put me on 210s.
Oh.
They thought it would be funny.
Was it?
And they told me, not really. And they told me that the better you waxed them, the easier they were to turn. And
Oh, no.
the ski rental was half an hour from where the place was on the bus, and there was no way to switch them when you got there. And they thought they'd just tell me this funny thing, and I'd crash a few times and we'd switch, right?
Mhm.
And so now we're standing at the double black diamond sign and deciding what we're gonna do. And they're like, so one of us will switch skis with you. Well, I'm 5'8", and my shoes are size 9, and nobody else there was under 6'2". And you know, they're the rental ones that they screw the things down. There's
Yeah.
no, so you know, there's no change in skis. You got what
Right.
you got. So they're like, here's what we'll do. One of us will go ahead, and you're just gonna have to zigzag down to us. And I'm like, zig, crash, zag, crash, zig, crash, zag,
I would just
crash.
sit.
And yeah, that would have been smart.
Sit on your skis.
That might have worked. But so, you know, at one point, one of them says, when you get to me, stop. I'm like, why? He says, just stop. I'm like, what if I'm doing good? He says, stop anyway. I'm like, what if I can't stop? He says, hit a tree. I'm like, why? He says, can't see the bottom. And so I get down to where he is, and it's just a dang cliff. And it's one of these things where you like kind of fly off the edge, and then you go down 30, 40 feet into powder, and then you know, keep
Let it
going.
rip. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, boys, we have clearly lost the path. This is not a ski. We would need a parachute to go off of this. This is not survivable. And just then, a 12-year-old comes up to the edge, and he's like, ah! And kicks the skis out like this, and down he goes. And we're all, you know, 22, 23-year-old, you know, Navy men.
12-year-old.
And we're not going to be shown up by a 12-year-old. And I'm like, well, we got what we got.
Jump.
And jump. And from there, it was just bad. It was like barely survivable bad.
What an incredible place to ski for the first time.
Yeah, so
Where'd they go?
then Italian Alps. And
You know what's that, right? Or no?
Yeah, I've never been.
Oh.
so then finally I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to tuck and go. And it's going to be ugly at the bottom, but at least I'll only crash once. And I've already crashed like 600 times. And, you know, and I'm wearing contact lenses and no goggles. And so I just tuck it in and, you know, it's like light speed, Mr. Sulu, and wind is like pulling all the tears out of my eyes, so I can't see anything at all. And at the bottom, it's just a train wreck.
That's terrible.
Broke my tailbone.
Oh no.
So I'm like, boys, I'm in the lodge for the rest of the day. That's it. And go into the lodge, and it's just polished logs or bar stools, and there's not anywhere else to sit, and I've got a broken tailbone. And so I sit there a while. I've got some liquid courage going, and I'm like, hey, I'm in excruciating pain anyway. We might as well just go ski. And so I did get different skis, and we did find out where the easy slope was, and we went all the way back to the top. And it really was easy. It was like the most beautiful ski course you've ever seen, and it's like as wide as a football field and perfectly groomed. And I got a couple of these, and I got a couple of those, and now I'm a skier, right?
Right.
And then there start to be moguls all over the place, and all my friends are doing the little knee thing, and I'm like wisely going around, and it's not hard to go around, right? And then again, my pure stupidness and maybe a little liquid courage. There's a big wide one right in the middle, and I'm like, this must be the beginner mogul. And I didn't see the sign. No, it wasn't the mogul, it was the jump. And not the wild world of sports jump, just like a 10-foot boom. And so, once you realize you're on the jump, there's not really anything you can do. You're in for a penny, in for a pound. And I come off of the jump and I land. And the really good skiers that do this in the movies, and they're like, like this, and then, like that. That's the way I come off of the jump. And poof, right off the edge of the mountain. And in America, they have these orange nets that keep stupid people from dying.
Right.
Not there. No, if you're that stupid, well, you had it coming. So I fly off of the edge. Fortunately, I hit a tree. It knocked me down, and I'm like clinging like a cat to the side of the mountain. And my friends are like just above me, and they're like, John, and there's like little houses this big behind with little curls of smoke, and I mean, missed death by inches. And if the skiing surface is this, I'm like here, and it's like lipped over, and so the ski patrol comes, and they're like trying to throw a rope, but it's like hanging over here, and I'm over there, and they take this big auger thing and like drill through and pull me up.
That is crazy.
And I got the face down because my tailbone is broke. Ride of shame on the litter behind the ski stud. And I didn't ski again for 20 years.
I wouldn't either.
But,
I don't think I'm ever going to now.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah. Well, she was saying she's from Colorado, skiing capital of the world. So anyhow, I did ski at Bear Mountain Pass 20 years later.
Oh yeah.
And it was great. It was Halloween, I think, and it was opening day. And when we pulled up, the grass was green. When we got to where is it? Steamboat? No, I don't remember where, but wherever Bear Mountain Pass is, we got there. Say what?
They eat bananas too.
Yeah, they do. Got there the night before, and it was lush and green, and 2 feet of snow fell that night at
Sweet.
Bear Mountain Pass. And my 5-year-old was a much better skier than I was. But
That's
anywho,
because they're not afraid. They go just go for it.
Yeah.
It's the fear that messes you up.
He went to the Wolf Pups training, and it was great. So the benefit to the sloth. First, he benefits from the camouflage of the moss and algae. Secondly, he benefits from when he grooms himself, he licks up a certain amount of the moths themselves. The moths themselves are the sloth protein source. And third, he benefits from I don't know if you're getting that whole thing at once, so just drop it everywhere. Third,
He took it.
yeah,
Oh shit.
Sorry.
that's all good. Cut this up.
Oh, we wanted that one.
So third, and most importantly, as the sloth grooms himself, he's licking up a certain amount of the waste of the sloths, and that is the critical thing for the sloth. So as the sloth licks up the waste of the sloth, you can give him these pieces of banana there in the bowl. As he licks up the waste of the sloths are where these waste of the moths, yeah. Oh, he's not gonna bite you, just don't stick your finger inside of his mouth. So the waste of the moths is where the sloth gets his bacteria colony from that digests his food. Without the moths, the sloth cannot survive in the wild. So we also have helpful gut bacteria. Our gut bacteria will last throughout our lives unless we take a lot of antibiotics. If we take a lot of antibiotics, we need some probiotics to fix our gut health back up, or some Greek yogurt. He can't get to GNC, he's never heard of Publix, so he's not getting Greek yogurt, he's not getting probiotics. So the source to replace his gut bacteria is the waste of the moths. And it is a proven fact that if this sloth moth colony fails to thrive, the sloth will perish of starvation 30 days later.
Oh.
In captivity, he does not need the moths. In captivity, there is nothing hunting him, so he doesn't need the moss and algae. In captivity, he gets 2 hard-boiled eggs a week, so he does not require the protein from the moths themselves. And in captivity, what kills our gut bacteria is antibiotics. What takes out his gut bacteria is cold temperature. So just like if we never took antibiotics, we would never have a gut health problem. If he never gets cold, he will never lose his gut bacteria colony. So that's why it's so doggone hot in here.
Yeah.
Never, never, never let a sloth get cold, and it doesn't have to have all these nasty bugs living on it all the time.
Oh.
So the sloth he is crazy strong. The sloth can do a 1-arm pull-up by any of his 4 arms. I suspect
Look at
there's
what's
only
more.
one person in this room.
Oh boy.
I suspect there's only one person in this room that can do a 1-arm pull-up, and it ain't me. Maybe years ago, but not now. And then the sloth can hang there for days upside down. Now, it is not a matter of strength that he hangs. It's a matter of strength that he pulls up, but it's not a matter of strength that he hangs. If any of us were trying to do a 2-arm hang on this bar, a minute would be a long time to do a 2-arm hang, and that's because this is our stress or exertion state, and this is relaxed. The sloth is the opposite. His tendons are really tight, so that clamp down like this, that is his relaxed state. He is exerting energy to open his claws. So when he's clamped down on that branch like that, he is exerting no energy at all. So if the sloth's life ended while hanging in a tree, he would not fall, because this is completely his relaxed, natural state.
What do you think, babe?
I love it. So cute.
If you give him a
They're so
banana,
cool.
he'll hang straight down, and you can get on both sides, and I'll take a picture for you together.
The guy loves banana. That's what he wanted the whole time.
Yeah, you just can't get too much, because it'll give him a sugar burst.
Here. Here, come.
Just hold the banana down so he hangs low.
Come low. Shade. Look at Logan's way he reaches for it. I
He
don't think
smells
can
it, he
smell
doesn't
it.
see it, so you gotta give him a little time.
Gotta go on the other side.
We're here. Look at his little claw reach out. Give it to me. Oh.
You can stand on both sides of him if you want to. Just right in close.
Thank you.
Welcome.
They're so awesome.
You can't sleep.
Look at that little body. Little body's so cute. How did you get this job? How did you get here 6 years ago and
I moved here with the intention to be retired,
yeah?
but I was an apartment landlord when I moved here. And
Yeah.
COVID was a bad time to be an apartment landlord.
Sure.
So out of hundreds of units with 2 brand new cars sitting in front of every unit, nobody's paying any rent.
Oh no.
So that required a change in profession.
Is that a banana?
So we converted our retirement home to an income property, and now this is what we do.
Like, I don't want that. It's awesome.
What do you guys do?
Health insurance.
Oh yeah?
Yep. Oh, Shane. How's he supposed to
That's
get
right.
that? Oh my.
Give him a little bit more. I think.
No.
That's all good. You should see him on Mango Day. He gets it smashed all over his face, and then he spends the rest of the day licking himself.
How cute. Look at him use his little claw. Oh.
Once more. said no more. You're gonna get sugar rush.
If he gets too much fruit, it makes there be too much sugar, and the bacteria feed on sugar, and then you know he can. Like if you give a baby too much sugar, it can get thrush.
Or if you give a human too much sugar, they get diabetes.
Yeah, it's gonna take a lot of sugar over a long period
I
of
read
time.
they can't pass gas, they can't burp.
No, they can't.
Yeah.
They have a when their food goes into their stomach, it's like a one-way like
Yeah.
this, so nothing comes back. Because if he's gonna hang upside down all the time, you know, he can't have food leaching back up.
Right.
And since he can't process food that's gonna make him have gas, he sure wouldn't want to give one broccoli or something.
Right.
You know, if there's no gas that comes up, there's no gas that goes out.
Mm-hmm.
And so you guys are moving on to the VIP part. Let me get the person that's gonna do that with you.
Okay.
What do you think about Flash, honey?
He's so precious. I have no idea how soft he is. God, I would love to squeeze him. Look at him move. He's so cool. Look how long the body is.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Oh.
Good boy.
He already has poop coming out. He's getting ready, yeah. You're getting ready to lose most of your body weight,
He's
buddy.
like, give me the fucking banana, he's gone.
I know. I love this part of his hair. It's so cool.
I can't see, but I don't hear his ass. He's gone. Give me the
Yeah,
banana.
he ain't here.
Stop fucking with me.
Oh.
You say he's already got poop coming out?
Yeah, she's.
Yeah, he does.
So you guys are gonna come in here now and